Hello, I'm Rick Hartzell. I'm the Service and Warranty Coordinator at Hartzell Air Movement. Please enjoy the following fan maintenance video.
The next section of maintenance we want to talk about is actually checking the bearing temperature and the bearing vibration. Bearings normally will have a good warm running temperature, and you can usually check them with your hand, or your job may have a bearing sensor, temperature sensor mounted to the bearing that goes to a control panel, or you may have an access port through the guard. But in any case, the bearings are usually quite warm, but should not be so hot that you can't leave your hands on them for a couple of seconds. So that's an easy way to check for bearing temperature. Usually if the bearings are running hot, it's because of a couple of factors. The grease may be low, and you'll need to re-lubricate the bearings like we just described. Another problem could be that the belt tension is too high. If the belt tension is too high, it puts too much load on this bearing, which will overheat the bearing, and you'll be able to tell that by checking the bearing temperatures. The other critical thing for bearing life is vibration. And when we test a fan and ship it, we always test the vibration on the two fan bearings in 3 directions. And I'm going to just use a screwdriver to show you. We would check the axial, which is parallel to the shaft, on both bearings, like that. We would check the vertical, typically on the top of the bearing, if we have access to it, like that. And we would check the horizontal, which is parallel to the ground, actually. Those readings should all be within the values specified in the IOM. Most fans go out with a G6.3 balance condition, which in terms of inches per second is 0.25 inches per second. But again, check your specifics in your IOM manual. Those levels need to be under control, because if the vibration levels get too high, you could have several problems. Obviously the bearings could overheat, they could fail, you could have a catastrophic failure of the whole fan. And there's many reasons why bearings can overheat. I mentioned a couple, and why they can vibrate. You could also have buildup on the fan blade inside the housing, and that can create very high vibrations, and you'll be able to pick that up on the bearings themselves in a vibration mode. So make sure you monitor those bearings every time in your preventative maintenance program and track those. The IOM manual will tell you what levels to shut the fan down, what levels to watch for, and which levels are acceptable.